So this is the practical demonstration on how to insert a development medicinal product into the XEVMPD. And for this, when you open the XEVMPD data entry tool, EVWeb, you need to go into the section Send Products. And you need to identify the message by a unique number. This is a mandatory field. So you highlight the field, you type enter to open it for data entry, and then you can enter a message number, which is your unique reference for a message. And when you finished entering, you type enter again to close this field. And in order to create a development product, we will need to go to the section products. But first, let's have a look at what the example would be. We will use fictitious information about the development product, of which the sponsor is Nobel Pharma Ltd. From 5 Peach Street in London, United Kingdom. And for the purpose of this exercise, just so that you can see that it's not always possible to find something in the lookup tables of the XEVMPD, what is the solution in this situation? We have selected a fictitious sponsor, which you will not find in the lookup list. The development products code is FGY10, which is formulated. The administrable dose form is an eye gel for ocular use, and it contains a substance which is polygenic acid in the amount of 10 milligram per gram, and the previous codes associated to the substance polygenic acid were Y10 and Y10A. So we go to the section products, and we select a new development product by clicking in the select box, and this is an empty development product that we will need to complete the information. The operation type, you can see, is insert, and the product type is development medicinal product. So first we are going to look for the sponsor Nobel company. When we select the field and type enter, we are taken to the search module where we are looking for Nobel company as a sponsor. This search module is not case sensitive, so this is not the reason why I did not find results, and I can demonstrate if I enter capital letters here that the result of my search is identical. There is no such sponsor in the XEVMPD. So what can I do? I need to submit this organization information to the XEVMPD. So I can do it in this same message that I have here. I will have to go to the list of organizations of my message and create a new sponsor. So we have the sponsor name, we have the address, which is, if I remember, 5 Peach Street. The city is London. The postcode was 4AB5CD. Of course, again, all of this is fictitious information. So when you come to the country codes, you get this long list of countries. So you can jump to the countries beginning with U in alphabetical order by typing U on your keyboard. And then if you repeatedly type U, you just descend one by one into the list of countries. When you located what you need, you just click on that, and the country will be inserted into your sponsor details. So now the sponsor is created and ready to be sent to the XEVMPD. And we now go to the development product. So if we go back to the sponsor, and again we type enter and search for Nobel company, we will not find it. And why is that? That is because we were searching in the same list where we couldn't find it the first time, and our sponsor is still here. It did not go to EVMPD yet. So we need to do a different way. This button here does the same thing as if one types enter. It opens the search module. So we demonstrated that it's not useful in this situation because the sponsor is not yet in the lookup tables of XEVMPD. But we can select a sponsor which is in the same message as the development product by using this button, which is called the local data lookup. So if we use this button, what we see instead is a list of all the organizations, the sponsors that we have in our message. So we select this by clicking in the lookup list. And what we have just done now, we have established a link between this sponsor in our message and this development product. When the two entities, development product and sponsor, will go to the XEVMPD, each will receive their own individual EV code, and this reference between the development product and the sponsor will be preserved in the EVMPD. EVMPD will refer to the EV code of the sponsor. Then we have product code. And you notice here that product code, product name are mandatory optional field. This means that at least one of product code or product name needs to be completed. So here you can enter the product code FGY10. Product other name are synonyms of the development product name if one needs to enter them, and comment is reserved for a maintenance operation type, which we will demonstrate in later practical exercises. So now we need to create a pharmaceutical product. So we select pharmaceutical products and we create a new pharmaceutical product by clicking into the select box. And for this pharmaceutical product, we need to select the pharmaceutical form. The pharmaceutical form here, remember, is the pharmaceutical dose form, administrable dose form. And we are looking here for iGel. We type enter in the search module and we select iGel. Don't bother asking why there was another iGel in there. This is a test environment where we have sometimes dummy information just so that we can practice. So we now have to go and specify the drug route of this pharmaceutical product. So we select to create a new drug route by clicking in the select box. And then in the active area, when we type enter, we go to the search module and we are looking for ocular use. Type enter to start the search. And when the results are back, double click on them to confirm. Just to remind you that if you're looking for a pharmaceutical form or for an administration route and you don't find it, provided that you searched for the correct term, you have the possibility to also send to the XEVMPD proposed or development pharmaceutical forms or administration routes. So now we go to the drug ingredients and we create a new drug ingredient for this development product. In one of the previous exercises, we have shown how to enter an approved and a development substance. And we have entered the polygenic acid already. So by looking into remote lookup, we display the search module and we search for this substance. And we don't find it. This has been done on purpose so that you do understand the concepts of how when a substance is not in the XEVMPD, you can create and send it along with any other element that is in your XEVPRM, like we have in this exercise, a development product, an organization. So we go into the substance section of our XEVPRM, we create a new development substance, and we have to provide for this substance the current name or code. This is the same as the previous demonstration. Polygenic acid is the name. We specify in the next field that this is a name and not a code, because in case of a code we need to also specify the chemical biological description. Then the class of this substance is chemical. The sponsor. So the sponsor is still sitting in our message here, ready to be sent. So we can use again this local lookup value to select the sponsor from this message. And we know two more things about this substance, that it has had two previous codes, Y10 and Y10A, as indicated in this step-by-step guide. This substance codes Y10 and Y10A. So we go down one line into previous names or codes, and we create a new one. And this first field, we have to write in there the code or the name. And in the next field, we need to specify what is Y10. Is it a code or is it a name? In our example, it's a code. And we have to do the same thing for the second code. So we have to go on the list of previous names or codes, select a new previous name or code by clicking in the select box, and then again enter the code, the second code, and specify that Y10A is a code. So now we have the two codes of the development substance. So we can return to our drug ingredient, and here you have two views possible. You can have the classic view if you do switch view, or you can have this view, and this arrow here is the equivalent of this local lookup button in the classic view. So it lets you select the development substance that you have just created. You need to specify what is this substance. In our example, it's an active ingredient. The concentration of this substance, the type of concentration, is equal. And now we have to specify how is the concentration expressed, as a unit of measure or as a unit of presentation. So let's look at how is the concentration. It's 10 milligram per gram. So this is a unit of measure. If it would have been 10 milligrams per tube, that would have been a unit of presentation. So we start to enter the values for the numerator and denominator parts of the concentration. So how would we write 10 milligram per gram? Numerator value would be 10. The prefix would be milli. And the unit will be gram. And the denominator is 1 single gram. So we have 10 milligrams per 1 single gram. This is how we express the concentration of the active ingredient of this development product. So we don't have any other information about this development medicinal product, so we can proceed to quality controlling this message before sending by using the RTF export. So when we click on this RTF export, then we will display a temporary window where we can click in the indicated area to open a new window displaying this RTF printout. So we can type again our username and password, and we now see our RTF indicated, with this being the information that was entered, the name of the fields where information was entered, and this being the content that we have entered. Now, if we return into our message, we need to also validate before sending. And we see the validation is okay. And we can proceed to sending. So once the send operation is completed, you are invited to view the file that you sent. So we click OK. And we display the message disposition notification. Okay. And we click in the indicated area, keep this document, print it or save it with print screen and paste in a Word document, print into a PDF file if you have the software, and click here to get your file. So this is the XML file that you have sent to the XEVMPD. And what I want to show you here is that inside our product we had a pharmaceutical form, iGel, that we have selected from the lookup list in XEVMPD. We had an administration route, ocular use, which we have also selected from the lookup list of the XEVMPD. But then we had the sponsor created and associated with the local lookup button to both the development product and the substance. So when we have created a sponsor, that's our sponsor, where operation type 1 means insert, organization type 2 means sponsor. And this local number, I have not entered it anywhere. I just entered the address, the city, postcode, and the country, but not this local number. Then I'm looking to the development substance, which we have here with the operation type insert, and this substance also has a local number. So for the substance, we needed to specify which is the sponsor. So we said that the sponsor is that one in the same message. This is the local lookup button that we have used. So in fact, technically what we say is that we have selected the sponsor with the resolution mode 1, meaning is one in the same message. And that sponsor is the one that has the local number 2, which is exactly this message, this number. Then if we look further down into the development product, this is the development product. Again, for the sponsor, we specify as the sponsor in the same message. But what about the pharmaceutical form? Here we say the pharmaceutical form is quoted as being a global key, meaning a pharmaceutical form which is already in the XEVMPD and has this EV code. So this is when we selected iGel, and the same when we selected ocular use for the administration route. We actually make reference to a global key, which is the EV code of that administration route. So this file you can save on your computer with File, Save As. You give it a name. You select the file type, XML file type, and you save it. And then when you finished, you can close all the unnecessary open windows and you do a reset application.